All the Sinners Bleed is the latest novel by the American author A. Cosby, and it is also the first one that I have read from him. All the Sinners Bleed, and folks, how people bleed in this novel. Trigger warning for extreme violence and a body count that surpasses most of A. Cosby's colleagues. Well, Sean Andre Cosby, he was born in Newsport News in Virginia in 1973. His father worked on a scallop boat in the Chesapeake Bay. His mother, who's partially disabled, mostly raised him and his brother alone in a trailer home, getting by with the help of food stamps. Cosby grew up in the middle of the racist remnants and racist present of the American South. His first school, it was named Jackson Lee Elementary, after Stonewall Jackson and Robert A. Lee, two generals of the Confederate Army and both slave owners. Sean, he read a lot and says that this has saved him. And since he criticized a lot of the books that he read, his mother asked him on one beautiful day, "Why don't you write your own stories when you're always complaining about the work of others?" And so he did. A 75-page werewolf story he created in 6th grade was so violent that he had to see the school psychiatrist. Formal education was, after school, too expensive for the family, and Cosby had to drop out of community college just for that reason. But he kept attending classes until he was stopped until they told him, "Don't come anymore." Sean wrote large amounts of stories. He worked in a home improvement store, and he never gave up the world of reading and writing until one night he was at the right place at the right time. He read from a story that he had written, and in the audience sat a man named Josh Getzler, a literary agent from New York, who listened and wanted to drink with Cosby afterwards. And there, the story that we know now started. The manuscript that Cosby had presented would be elaborated and became his first novel, Blacktop Wasteland, that became an instant success in the United States. The second novel, Razorblade Tears, came, and A. Cosby was a star in the world of crime fiction in the United States and soon also outside the States. This and more facts about Cosby and his life is from a very good article, a very good portrait in the New York Times that Dwight Garner published in September of 2021. I will link it down below in the show notes to this video. But now to All the Sinners Bleed. We meet Titus Crown, the first elected black sheriff of Sharon County, Virginia. A county that does not exist, but certainly resembles a lot of counties and places in the state of Virginia, I guess. Titus has quit the FBI about a year ago, and there was an incident that will be revealed later in this novel, but no spoilers here. And often in crime fiction, we have that situation where the protagonist, the main character, is a troubled man himself. He lives with his father and has a difficult relationship with his brother Marquis. All of them have experienced racism in all of its ugliest and ugly details. The whole community in Sharon County is filled with the guilt of the past, the crimes and injustice, but not much criminal offenses seem to happen on the surface in Sharon County now in our days. Titus has no major crimes to solve, it is said in the beginning of the novel, until one day, Titus Crown gets called to a school shooting with an active shooter. The most popular teacher of the school has been shot in the head. He's killed, and the shooter, a young Afro-American boy or young man, gets killed by Titus's deputies. This is not a spoiler, since these events or this school shooting happens on the first 20-25 pages of the book, because the story gets now really bad when Titus takes a look at the teacher's phone. What he finds there starts all the action, all the 300 pages, and the incidents and the murders that make a lot of people bleed, and not all of them are sinners. This book is a page-turner. All these decades of writing and writing and writing have turned A. Cosby or Sean Cosby into a very well-crafted writer. He knows how to build up tension, how to deliver twists and horror. Like a good crime writer, he throws all of the necessary and beautiful ingredients into the pot and uses all the good spices to make it even to make it even spicier. In the end, there will be the ultimate fight between the hero and the villain. But, and here is what makes this book extraordinary, I think, S.A. Cosby's depiction of Sharon County. He describes the apparent idyll of this rural area and paints a very, very clear picture. We can see Sharon County with all of its different streets and shades and stories. As readers, we are in Sharon County together with Titus, but he does much more of this. The psychology of the people, the ambivalence over decades and centuries, the smoldering racism, the monuments to a treacherous past with statues of racists and criminals and traitors still in the 21st century around. And all the characters live in this environment, and the black characters have to navigate through it, and they all have a heavy burden to carry and still live, despised and hated by a lot of white citizens. Sharon County is like a powder keg, and when its fuse is lit, everything can explode very, very quickly in terrible violence. And it does explode in more ways than one in this book. But Cosby also has his sheriff visit various evangelical free churches in the area in Sharon County as a part of investigation, and he meets pastors there who sometimes seem, well, pretty creepy, at least to me as a Northern European citizen. Might be normal in the States. Cosby's book is not only a very grippingly written thriller, it is also a poignant portrait of a part of the country of the United States in turmoil that doesn't want to talk about its past. Books are banned, but where everything is just under the radar and can change dramatically when something bad happens and everything comes to the surface. I still wonder if S.A. Cosby did have to include such enormously violent scenes in some parts of the book, but on the other hand, now that I'm gathering my thoughts about the book, he probably did the right thing. 405 years since 1619, the weight of everything violent and horrific that has been done by white people, mostly white people, to African Americans, and is still be done, is so enormous. A softer version of All Sinners Bleed might not have been able to catch this idea so well. I will certainly go back to the back catalog of S.A. Cosby, and I'm looking forward to his next book, and you are hopefully looking forward to my next video on this channel. Subscribe and slap me a like, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.